So, it was you! I would congratulate you for cracking the case, but since I did such an abysmal job of covering my tracks, didn't exactly have your work cut out for you. So, all I can say is... Catch me if you can!
We have a runner! That's it! Let me at him!
The would-be Marquis of Carabas dispatched the Necromancer in boots, who ran off in pursuit of the poor little minion. The minion's poor little lower back was protesting painfully against the intense physical activity. He decided to take the elevator, giving him a moment to catch his breath. Really? His lower back asked. But the minion had no other choice. He resolved to make the jump down. By this point, the Necromancer in boots was gasping for air. The minion was huffing and puffing, even more loudly. But we'll ignore that.
I'm not! Don't underestimate the gold-level courier of the Comania Express!
A characteristically catty response from the Necromancer. Tell me, what do you hope to gain from bullying me?
I get to let off some steam!
Ha-ha! You fell into my trap! Oh, and by the way, remember the glue you got stuck on when you first entered the future Marquis' abode-to-be? That was also me. I did it using my powers.
Rats! Oh, I'm so jealous of you guys right now. You can just jump out of your shoes and keep running, but Wait, I'm where...
The unnamed minion made a last-ditch escape attempt. He began his long climb, up the wall, the tall wall. He began his long climb up the tall wall.
You call that a tall wall? In urgent Neko parcel mode, I'll scale it in no time.
I'm beat. I surrender.
You've got nowhere left to run.
All right. I confess.
That was fast.
Getting caught by you here was a backup plan. I don't know if what I've done will make things better or not. Time to come clean. I am the narrator, the one who's been guiding you all this time. Okay, I guess my voice acting skills have some room for improvement. Anyway, I only did what I did because...
Why are you suddenly spilling the beans?
I poured my heart and soul into all this. I was worried you wouldn't ask. The truth is, I was one of the first conscious beings ever made by the goddess of creation, and I've known for a long time that this whole world is just a fairy tale written by the goddess of fate. I know they say that fairy tales are just made up for kids to read, but I refuse to believe that fairy tales are just fictional stories and nothing more. The reason why Constellation Metropole has 3 origin stories is that the goddess of fate wrote 3 drafts and couldn't decide which one she liked best. Then her cat trod all over them, and they all got crumpled together, so the 3 worlds just sort of folded into one. The goddess of fate was torn between them anyway, since she couldn't decide which ending was best for the dragon or the kids. So when she saw what the cat had done, she simply decided to go with all 3.
Who'd have thought? But what does any of this have to do with what you did?
You're not a fictional character, so you couldn't hope to understand my sorrow. Honestly, I don't think there's anyone in all of Simulanka who would understand. Every day that I experience, every interaction I have with another person, is it really all just a work of fiction? The only reason the three great clans wanted to find out the truth was for the pointless task of electing the supreme clan. I thought that once they'd learned the truth, it might make them curious enough to investigate further. But as it turned out, they just accepted it and carried on living the same old lives. I have to motivate them to keep looking for answers now that they think they've learned the truth. I have to make them uncomfortable with the superficial explanation that they took at face value. And I have to figure out, once and for all, while you real people from the outside world are still here, are we real?
Aww.
That's my full confession. Time for you to take me back. I'm guessing I'll probably be forced to make a public apology, then sentenced to half a day in solitary confinement. I definitely deserve half a day. Oh, also, pass this message on to Cape Boberano and Albizzi, if you could. The Great Clockwork Key was originally put in place jointly by the ancestors of the three clans. If the three of them had any ability to cooperate whatsoever, they'd have been able to remove it by themselves. Over all these years, not once have they ever tried removing it together.
Oh, my poor child. There's one thing you've been mistaken about this whole time.
Ah! Whose voice is that? Detective? Was that you? Your voice acting's actually pretty good.
The reason fairy tales are suitable for children is that they help them to understand the world. Fairy tales may be works of fiction, but at their heart lies an internal logic that is undoubtedly real-world truth in a condensed form. Perhaps they simplify good and evil, and perhaps they hide the darkness in metaphors. But let there be no doubt. The world within fairy tales is as real as can be, and by extension, you and your compatriots are also real.
Goddess! Is it really you?
The line that separates footnotes from narrative can never be crossed. Never the two shall meet. This is why you have never heard my voice before. But now you wish to break free from the story, and there's a cat nearby, so you can hear my echo.
Necromora!
Just your echo?
Oh, poor detective.
So, we are a part of the real world too.
My head's spinning. Albizzi just gave me a quick rundown of the situation. So you caught the detective?
Sorta. We chased him until he surrendered. Oh, and he asked us to pass on a message.
Does he really think we didn't try that? 'Cause we did! After 6 months in that place!
Ah, that was my bad. I thought it was a stupid idea at the time, so I didn't really exert myself.
I also sort of stopped trying after 3 years.
Look, you... Never mind. I'm partly to blame as well. On the second attempt, I just hugged the key and pretended like I was pulling as hard as I could.
You guys are so lazy. My granny's neighbor's pet cat has nothing on you, and it spends all day, every day sunbathing.
Anyway, you said you heard the voice of the goddess of fate at the end? That's amazing.
There is a world beyond our own after all.
What would you guys say to taking a trip to the outside world sometime? Otherwise, I got bashed in the back of the head for nothing.
Depends. Do either of you know how to get there? But yes, I agree we should go. And not invite the detective, just to annoy him. But maybe the reason we've never worried about whether we're real or not is that, unlike him, we weren't there to witness the creation of this world. We've never had any reason to doubt that we're real. If someone ever convinced me that these delightful dimwits, Cape and Albizzi, weren't real, oh, I'd be devastated.
Heart be pure. Evil be erased. Mind be